What's up, guys? Welcome back to Blues Nation, this channel where we're doing a bunch of simulations through FC25 in order to basically keep pace with Chelsea Football Club, see how we're doing in the sim versus real life, and kind of try to build some teams together, see what we can do, see if we do anything different than Enzo Maresca, and go from there. So before we jump into the actual sim, I want to hop into a little bit of preview of who are we going up against this weekend, what can we expect, and can we expect a win this weekend, because hopefully that's what we're going to get. So before we do that, let's go ahead and hop over to my screen where we can look at some stats. Okay, guys, so yeah, we're looking here at two different platforms. So if you're just like a casual viewer and you're curious about, what can I expect from these games, these are two really accessible platforms. Opta Stats is what we're looking at right now, and then we're gonna look at SofaScore. So they're both just really interesting for looking at different analytics and whatnot, but we're looking at some pretty basic stuff real fast here. So first off, where are the two teams at in the table? If you look here, we can see that Chelsea, our Blues, are in 4th position. We're still holding on to that, barely. We have two teams really on our tails. We have obviously Newcastle is even on points, and they have a game in hand, which is a little bit concerning. And then Man City's a point behind. So those are the two we're really competing with. And if we can get ahead of one of them, we'll be in Champions League spots. But that's frankly a lot to ask. So we'll see how that goes. But we're in 4th, mixed form, not terrible, not great if you guys have been watching lately. And then we scroll down and we're against our opponent. We're playing against Ipswich Town, and they are currently in 18th position, which looks like that is where they're going to stay. There's basically no chance that they're going to get out of relegation now, because Wolves have strung together several wins now, and there's a 12-point space there. So it's not looking good for the boys, which is a bummer, because if you guys have been following, there's been like a lot of slinky back and forth between the leagues lately. There haven't really been teams sticking. It's basically been 3 get promoted, 3 get demoted, and it's really just been going back and forth every year, which is a bummer. I would have loved to see Ipswich stay up. I don't know, Kieran McKenna is a pretty good manager, I think, and if he could get some more money inflow, could have maybe done something, but that doesn't seem like it's going to happen this year. So that is where we see a team that is really just fighting for pride at this point. Not a whole lot else. So let's go ahead and now hop over to SofaScore, and I just want to look at a few stats, nothing crazy, but just to give us an idea of realistically what can we expect, because I know it's easy to get really down to the dumps, really negative, and sometimes a little bit toxic as a fan base during this kind of up and down season, but I actually think we can expect some good things from this game. I'm aware the first match did not go well at all, but it was a bit of a trap game, and also not to mention it was really during our terrible time of form. So I don't think that's going to happen again. I think we will perform. And there's 2 things I want to look at most importantly. So first, I'll look at goals scored and goals conceded. So first off, we see we have scored 54 on the season. We've conceded 37. And they have scored 31 and conceded 65. So the scores are essentially flip-flop between the teams, which obviously is not good if you're an Ipswich Town fan. Really interesting, though. If you look at us, we are, I believe it is 5th in the division in goals scored in all of the Premier League, and we are 4th in the division in goals conceded. That is really interesting to think about, because I know it's been a constant narrative from me as well that Rob Sanchez, that Philip Jorgensen, both these guys have been very underwhelming. All of us can agree about that. Even still, though, we're 4th best in goals conceded. That's a bit of a testament, I think, to the fact that we really have solidified, especially I would say this latter half of the season. That's huge. And obviously Ipswich Town is not the case. They've conceded almost 2 times the amount of goals we have. And they really are a championship side, which is tough to be said. But the second thing I want to look at real fast is hop down here, and this has to do with defending, just something I really want us to kind of take note of and be a little positive about. It's okay to be positive when there's good things happening. Defending wise, we have 8 clean sheets to their 2. So basically what that tells me is that we actually have been performing much better on the defensive side of things lately. And I don't remember the exact stat, but it's something like the last 5 or more games we haven't conceded a goal from open play, which is really great to see, really exciting to see, especially without, in my opinion, our full potential center back combo of Wes Fofana and Levi Colwill. So that's been great. And then of course they have only kept 2 clean sheets in the entire season. We've of course played 31 games. So Not a great defensive record for them. Not a great goal scoring record for them either. And an even more so concerning thing is that they have one of their most creative players. Our former player, Amari Kellyman, is doubtful for this match. So we'll see if he doesn't play. There's still, another day between now and the game on Saturday, or the game's on Sunday. But not looking great. Liam Delap is a player to keep an eye out for. I actually think he's someone that's going to keep this really interesting, because that's someone we're potentially going to go in for this summer. So if you're looking for little things to keep an eye on, apart from hopefully Chelsea scoring loads of goals, I'd keep an eye on Delap, because he is a really solid player, a classic 9 kind of. I've heard some people, which of course is so early to say this type of thing, but play style wise similar to a Harry Kane, I've heard, and we're potentially going in for him on the cheap as well with a release deal. So we'll see if that happens, but a couple things to look out for, and in my opinion, this is a game we should be expecting to win, and win handily. So now let's go ahead and hop over to FC25 and start this sim. All right, guys, so here we are. If you remember, this is just on FC25 manager mode, and we are staying in sync with the season. Our season's not going quite as well so far in this sim. We've really been feeling not having Nico, just as we have in real life as well. Compared to being in 4th in real life, we were in 7th. In this game, we lost 3-1 to Tottenham, if you remember that terrible sim, and then we won against Brentford. So some differing results there, and obviously we can't control the results of our opponents. So we're currently sitting 7th. Ipswich is where they are in real life, because like I said, they're not really moving anymore unless they're moving down, and they're in 18th. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into match day. We're going to edit this squad however it needs to be edited, and then we're going to talk through a little bit, and then we're going to sim and see how it goes. So as you see here, honestly, I think one thing that's actually really good, we're seeing a lot of consistency with the starting 11. The guys that are playing consistently, unless it's a problem through injury, which has obviously been happening quite a bit. And now that we have a lot of guys back from injury as well, I don't think that this squad should change very much for the last handful of games this season. I think it should remain somewhat consistent, because I think that'll build cohesion, not to mention it's easily our strongest 11. And that strongest 11 I'm talking about is what I'm going to build right now. So there are a couple of changes I'm going to do here. First off, in goal, we're going to keep Sanchez in. I think he's actually, we have to say, I think he's been good lately. I do think he's been good. He always gives the ball away once or twice in a game, which is... makes your heart sink every game, but that's the best we got. So I don't think Jorgensen was fine against Legia Warsaw, but he had to make one save. They were terrible. That game, the first half was terrible. We were great second half, but Warsaw, I expected a little bit more from them. They didn't offer anything. But anyway, Sanchez is going to keep his place, obviously, because Jorgensen played the midweek, so that's showing that's going to be the case. Gusto's not going to keep his place at right back. I'm putting James there, and this is where the difference might be. It seems like Maresca really is liking the idea of him playing in the midfield. I think he's quality enough to be good anywhere, but I prefer him being in the position he's best at, which is right back. And then Trev, I do not think he will be starting. I think it's obviously it can't be Wes. It could be Trev, but in this game, I'm not going to have it be Trev because he's a little bit low on stamina. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw in Benoit. I think he's been okay lately. He's been getting some more minutes, which I'm encouraged by. He's such an interesting player where he seems like he has potential, but which player is going to show up? So hopefully we see something good from him. And then in the middle of the park, this is the trio that should never change. Seriously, this trio should never change. All of them, well, I should say this. Enzo and Moises are completely in form, and Cole might be slowly slinking back from being out of form now that especially Nico's back. So they got to stay the same. I think Moises, with the legacy of players and the kind of defensive, deep-lying midfielder role, including, his immediate predecessor being N'Golo Kanté, now straight into Moises Caicedo is an unbelievable privilege we have as Chelsea fans, so we really got to be appreciative of that. So it's got to be those guys. Enzo is creative. He gets in the box. He gets forward. Moises is a complete destroyer. He will crush everybody and win so many duels. So stay there. Cole, hopefully he gets on the score sheet. And then the wingers. This is the exact front three I'm going to keep here. So I do think Nico's going to play, which I'm really excited about because he didn't play at all in the midweek, which is great. I think Nani will also start because he only played a half and he looked amazing. He made immediate impact. He's so direct. He's not afraid to shoot. He will shoot, maybe too much, and I don't mind that compared to some of our other guys like Sancho. The other encouragement, though, Jadon Sancho had not one, but 2 assists on the midweek game, and it was the connection with Madueke as well. So potentially we could see a little bit of a partnership on the wings kind of starting to grow there between those guys. So hopefully we can see that continue to move forward. And then Nico, again, he got complete rest in the midweek, which is amazing. A lot of guys did, so I think he'll be starting. That is what I'm most excited for, guys. The fact that we're going to get, I think, our strongest 11. Apart from Fofana not playing and apart from Lavia not being on the bench, I think that's what we're going to see. So starting from the back, we have Rob in the back, and then Reese, Benoit, Levi, Mark, and then in the middle of the park, we have Enzo and Moises, and then Cole. And then a top 3, we have Nani, Nico, and Jaden. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that squad, see how they do. The last thing I want to do real fast is adjust this to be somewhat more realistic, because Lavia is still not back. I think George will be on the bench, probably instead of Fofana's obviously not going to be playing. Anybody else in the reserves that might play? Probably not. Mark's not ready yet. And Kunku will I hope he doesn't get minutes. He might not. I think George deserves them more. Dewsbury Hall will probably get minutes. Regardless of what you think of him, he works hard. He actually had a lot of chances created in the last game against Warsaw, so good for him. Whether or not he stays, whether he gets sold, it's good for him to be playing well either way. So yeah, that's the squad we have, and let's go ahead and hop back out and do this sim, and hopefully it goes well, because if it doesn't, at least this simulated version of hopes for Champions League is not looking good. So we're going to quick sim, we'll look at a couple stats, and then we'll wrap it up. Let's see what happens. Your hopes ever get let down, guys? Oh, that's terrible. That is terrible, guys. 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town. At least Cole's back on the score sheet. And look, and remember who I said you got to keep an eye out for? Liam Delap. And he led off the scoring in the 54th minute. Cole came in the 56th. We made a couple substitutions. And Kunku for Caicedo is an odd sub. That's a very attacking sub. And then a Chimpong for James, which is fine. We had by far the bulk of possession. 6 chances created there, 2. 7 shots there, 3 shots. Still not many shots. There might be some kind of formation change we got to do, even though we have changed it already. Poor performers. Let's see. Benoit didn't have a great game. Colwell didn't have a great game. Another yellow card for him. Cole was really the only super positive performer, seemingly, as he got on the score sheet. So we end up with a tie. Not ideal at all. We're probably going to be potentially moving on some more spots. This team is not simming well. I will say the overalls are pretty poor on this team in FC25, so we'll see. But we're going to keep chugging along and see how this goes. So let's go ahead and hop back to our video and wrap this thing up. All right, guys, welcome back. So yeah, another kind of underwhelming sim there as we tie 1-1 with Ipswich Town, but I do not think that's what's going to happen in real life in the game on Sunday morning. I think we will get a win. I think it's going to be handy. I think we're going to get what I'm predicting is a 3-0 win. I think we're going to get another clean sheet. I think we'll actually contain Liam Delap compared to what we did last time. And I think Nico will get back on the score sheet. I think Nani will continue on the score sheet. And then I'm going to say a goal from Enzo. So that's my prediction, guys. I'm really hoping we have a positive performance. If you want to drop a comment down below of who you think will be coming out on top and also who you think the goal scorers will be, please go ahead, drop that down below, and let's get that conversation going. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done that, as we do these weekly. It's good to be here, and let's watch those Blues this weekend.